Hey, what's up, guys? Let me fix my lamp there. It's a little early in the morning. Uh, been out for a while. I got out last night, I think around a little after 8 p.m. So I wanted to get on here, give you guys a quick update. I know it's kind of early. Some of you are probably getting up and getting ready to head out the door. I have to head out and probably see parole and probation. Hello, Carolina. Hello, everyone. Uh, if everything's good, I kind of on my end, I'm looking kind of choppy. Is everything okay on you guys? Can you guys get good signal? You guys, I'm not choppy on your end. If I can get someone, cool. All right. Well, guys, I just kind of wanted to give a quick update and a recap of what happened. A lot of you already know that I was arrested in July of 2017 for possession of a concealed firearm. Now, what happened then, I didn't really like talking too much about the case, all right? So I knew I was being watched, and every time I would speak, I knew that the DA was going to try to strengthen his case by listening and watching my video. So I was kind of holding back. So this is what happened. I was at work. I was a doorman. My job was just pretty much to check people in, check IDs, make sure they were on guest lists, give them over to the hostess, let her take them. Sometimes I would take them to their table. So those are my duties, simple duties. I was running a little bit late. I was running a little late. I was setting up the poles, setting up the ropes, setting up the cash register. I then, I was trying to get everything, organized. I was then approached by three plainclothes gentlemen. One was wearing a hat, and I told him, "Hey guys, 1 second, no ball caps allowed inside the nightclub. It's dress code. You can leave it in your car or leave it up front." One looks at the other, kind of like, "Well, who's this guy?" Well, I knew something was up because one had a clipboard and said, "Well, we're here to check the business license and sheriff's cards." I said, "Fine." Now, what a sheriff card is it's a card issued by our local sheriff for people who want to work in the nightclub industry, anywhere that serves alcohol, places, establishments that have slot machines, things like that. You have to have a sheriff's card. You go down to the police station, you get fingerprinted, same process as a CCW, a concealed weapons permit. That's what they were checking. Well, I didn't have mine on me. I told them, "Look, it's inside. If you want to see the business license, I can get the manager out here for you. You can, he can assist you in that." Well, they surrounded me and said, "No, stay right here. Don't move." I said, "Sir, I have guests in line that are waiting to come in." Then the other one kind of came up beside me, got closer. At this point, one asks me, "Is that your firearm?" I said, "Yes." At this time, he says, he discerned it. He discerned the firearm. He already knew it was on my hip. He says, "Do you have a concealed weapons permit?" I said, "No, there's no permit required for a open carry." Well, he grabs me and puts me in cuffs. And at this point, I'm not sure, okay, who are these guys? Who are they with? So then I asked him, "Who are you?" Then that's when he pulled out his badge and says, "Metropolitan Police Department, Special Investigations Unit." And I said, "Well, what are you arresting me for?" "Possession of a concealed firearm," he says. We go kind of back and forth on it. I'm like, "No, I'm open carrying. Yeah, call my boss, call everybody here. Everybody knows I open carry. I'm not concealed carrying." My boss, everybody else comes out. Some of the people were held at the door. The police officers didn't allow too much people to come outside the door. They said, "No, stay back." At that time, I noticed 4 more plainclothes people coming from the other side of the building. I knew they were cops because just the way they were talking and signaling each other, they approached us. And I said, and at that point, I've been in the nightclub industry before. We've had visits from the city, from the state. we've had those type of checks before. They don't send 8 undercover officers, 7 undercover officers to check a business license. It's just usually one pencil pusher who just goes, checks off, says, all right, cool, I'm out of here. At that point, when they were sitting me down and checking and doing inventory in my pockets, I knew then that it was because of my activism. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get my charger in here. Oh damn, hope I don't lose y'all. What the hell? Sorry about that, guys. Well, I'll try to go as fast as I can. But anyways, I was then taken into custody. I knew then it was because of my activism. Once the officer told me, look, you're under arrest, this is what's going on, you're going to be booked in, I knew it was Detective Kenneth Mead who spearheaded this whole sting, whatever it was. Then I went to court. I found out Michael Dickerson, who also went after a couple other activists here in Las Vegas as well, he was handling the case. He handled the case. I knew was controlled by Detective Kenneth Mead. Well, there's nothing I can do. I was standing. I was trying to fight the case as best I could, but then they started going after my boss. They started looking into his licenses. They wanted to see his receipts from 2013, 2014. He was getting calls from different agencies, the local license department. They were all hounding him. And he's been in the business for 14 years. And he knows that it stems from my activism. Now, fast forward, we start going to court. I had my witnesses in line. They were saying I was open carrying. The officers in their narrative said only 2 officers showed up. They weren't counting the rest of them. In their narrative, they're saying only 2 officers were on scene. I had witnesses saying otherwise. I had a pretty good case, guys. I did. I could have won. But my employer was being harassed. He worked hard for his business. Now, I'll put my life, liberty, and property on the line for liberty, but I will not ask anyone to do that, to put theirs and risk theirs for me. I will never do that. So yes, I took a deal. I took a plea deal. I said I cannot stand them harassing my boss. My boss came close to losing his business. He had to sell it to someone he trusted so that the police and the state couldn't seize it. So yes, open carry of a firearm is legal, but they said I was concealed carrying. They totally lied on me. So I took the deal. I went in for a plea for the finalization for the whole deal. I got sandbagged. I got ambushed. Detective Kenneth Mead, who I know was behind this case, who wasn't involved in it, but he was behind the scenes. I knew he was. He was there in the courtroom, smiling at me. He was there just acting like it was a big joke. He took screenshots from my Facebook posts, where in one post I said, and I quote, that our nation was founded by men who killed the enemy oppressor. They used guns, not thoughts and prayers. Now I had other posts, a couple other things that was anti-police abuse, and I was simply pretty much expressing my ideas, expressing my thoughts. Well, the judge didn't like that. The prosecutor was presenting that. He totally surprised us. It was supposed to be in and out, quick signature. I would have been off probation pretty quickly if I succeeded, which I know I would have. It would have been fine. We were just totally surprised. The judge lost it. He started just saying, I think this man belongs in prison for these type of posts. Now look, if I broke a law, charge me for the crime. But do not put me in jail simply because you have me by the you-know-what, and you have the authority just to throw me in jail because you simply were offended by what I posted. We shouldn't be having a talk about offending people or possibly being a danger. We should be talking about a possible indictment hearing, a possible arraignment hearing. He threw me in jail. He looked at me and said to my attorney, I believe he belongs in prison. he leans forward, looks at my attorney and says, I'm going to give you two options. Either withdraw his plea or you allow me to sentence him right now, insinuating that he was going to send me to prison. So yes, I turned to my attorney and I said, you revoke my plea, you withdraw it, and we go to trial. And it sucks because I know they were going to go back and harass my witnesses, and they were going to go back and play dirty like they always do. So yes, I said, no, let's go. Well, my attorney comes to the back after they cuffed me up. They threw me in the back. They brought me back out. My attorney, he comes to the back and says, look, the judge, he's calm. He's not going to throw you in jail. He's going to abide by the stipulations. I didn't believe him. I said, no, don't believe him. I'll spend a couple of days, a few nights, a few weeks in jail. Let's do this. I'm ready for trial. He goes, okay. We go out back out. The judge says, fine. Well, I have to remand him back into custody. I go back into custody. He takes me in. At that point, I go downstairs into booking to the jail. I'm in there waiting. I'm chained up. Nurse calls me up for medical. Guess who's there? Detective Kenneth Mead, smiling at me, saying, you got here before I did. What? Why are you following me? I said. Why do you keep following me? Oh, I'm just working, doing my job. There's other people who want to commit crimes against our people. There's criminals out there. Why are you after me? Don't know. Is it my auditing? Is it my ability to speak? Is it my love for country? The fact that I will stand up and defend my life, liberty, and property, is that what fears you? That I'm not afraid to express my idea and share it with my friends and family and share it with my audience? I have that. That's a natural right. I have a right to develop ideas, to accumulate wealth, to protect property, to accumulate property, to acquire property, to build property. Those are basic natural human rights. Well, he tells classification to put me in a maximum security area. So when I'm in my cell, I'm in a cell by myself, 13 by 6 cell. When I leave the cell, I have to be put in handcuffs. I put my hands through a door. They cuff me, transfer me if I want to go take a shower. Once I go into the cages for the shower, I do the same thing. Put my hands through there. They uncuff me. I take a shower. Once I'm done, back right into the same position. Put my hands through the hole. They handcuff me and take me to the next area. I thought about it. I was ready for trial. I said, you know what? Would it be right for me to put my witnesses through that again? Would it be right for me? Isn't it selfish of me? I think it is. Because I know I can do this. I know I can get past this. So yeah, I went in. The judge says, well, I still think what he says, it's not free speech. It isn't protected by the First Amendment. Excuse me? The First Amendment protects all speech. It isn't a direct threat that I said. I never made a direct threat, because if I made a direct threat, he would have definitely charged me with another crime, and definitely would have. I wouldn't be here talking right now. So this is just their way of letting me know that they're monitoring me. Because people who are monitored, who know they're being monitored, are less likely to be politically active. That's the government's way of intimidating people to shut up. Well, that doesn't work with me, because you just added more fuel to my fire. Even my lawyer came to the back after all that whole fiasco and said, oh man, I know they just added more fuel to your fire. Dude, if you want to just go to trial, let's go to trial. We'll withdraw your plea. Guess what? Guess who was fighting against me withdrawing my plea? The district attorney. He said, no, he should be on probation. We don't want to go to trial. His exact words. Because he's trying to pick me out to be this bad guy. But the judge had this one moment where he asked them, the prosecutor, if he's such a dangerous individual, why did you agree to probation with a misdemeanor at the end of the probation? The prosecutor replies, Your Honor, this is a very difficult case. The defendant is well-spoken, he's good-looking, and he could have swayed the jury in rendering a not guilty verdict. I'm going to get the DVD. I'm going to post it. You guys are going to hear this. I'm going to get the DVD from that hearing. You guys will hear it. and you will see it. This is just an absolute attack on a person who just expresses their idea and just wants to fix their country, who wants to encourage their neighbor to learn how to petition the government for a redress of grievances, who wants to teach their neighbor how to use the Constitution in their legal battles. This is the country we live in now. That if they don't like something you say and they have the authority to lock you up, they will. They absolutely will. So we went to court this morning. I had auditors there. High Desert was there. Prince Vegeta was there. Shout out to those guys. Las Vegas Free Press was there. There's a few other ones as well. I forgot your guys' name. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible with names. But shout out to everyone who had my back, because you know what? The judge saw the amount of support I had, and even other inmates, when we went to the back, they even said, wow, he was in such a better mood today. Why? Because he saw unity. He saw that there was support there. This man on the bench said that I made a threat, that I made threats when I didn't make any at all. There was no direct threats. We have rap artists that say far worse things about killing cops. 187 on motherfucking cop. What about those? What about those? I mean, what is it? What is it? Who's part of the elite? Who isn't? This man had a picture of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson on his wall, and the original 13 colony flag right behind him, or right beside him. Those of you who know, Thomas Jefferson said that what nation can keep its liberties if its rulers aren't reminded from time to time that the people preserve the spirit of resistance? Let them take arms. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. George Washington said that government is like fire. It can either be a fearful servant or a dangerous master, pretty much implying the people's duty to keep the government in check. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm expressing and showing how important it is for individuals to keep their government in check. Our country right now is I mean, we do audits all the time, right? I mean, we got auditors out there. When are people finally going to realize that our nation is morally and spiritually bankrupt? We need to find better ground. We need to start holding these people accountable. We need to start utilizing our Bill of Rights and expressing what a beautiful thing it is to use them and to stand on it. I, for one, am not afraid. I'm not afraid to use it, guys. So, with that said, guys, I'm on probation. It's going to be a short probation. I think I can be successful at it. Now, I mean, Kenneth Meade wasn't there today, nor were the other agencies. The day I was arrested, there were a couple of agencies. FBI was among them. One of the bailiffs was telling me, even he said, you're pretty popular. You had different agencies there just for you. So they weren't there today. And I think it's because they saw us, they had everyone, they saw all my support. They knew that I had a support. So, yes, Detective Kenneth Meade did arrest Fishers of Men. And Mr. Dickerson, the prosecutor, was the prosecutor in Bryce Queller's case. Yes, he also went after Tactical Tony, Detective Kenneth Meade. That's the thing. These people go after activists. Bryce Queller, he was a Christian activist. He was sharing his ideas, expressing his thoughts, expressing his feelings, and they took him to jail for it. They sent him to prison. But I can't be easily intimidated. I'm not going to be easily intimidated, guys. We got to keep fighting. And I know I could have won. I mean, the prosecutor didn't want to take it to trial. He fought to make me take the probation that I originally agreed to, which I did. It wouldn't be right for me to put my witnesses through that stuff again. I couldn't do that. So, guys, I'm going to cut it short. It's already been 20 minutes. I don't want to make it too long. And yeah, I'm not here to change people's morals. I'm here to express my liberty, and I understand that the only liberties we have are the ones that we're willing to stand up and defend. Nobody else is going to do it for us. You draw the line, you stand your ground, and you stand up for your rights, even if nobody's standing with you. That's what liberty is all about. I've said this before, that all rights derive from property. If you have no property, you have no rights. My right to life comes from my body, which is my #1 form of property. If somebody else owned my body, that would make me nothing more than a slave. Nobody owns my body. And the things that come from my body, the ideas I develop, the house I build with my own 2 hands, the wealth I accumulate through my labor, those all belong to me. And they should be viewed as part of me, as the fingertips at the ends of my hands. And because Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution says that we are a republic, that means that in a republic, the individual has full rights to their property, and that individual can exclude anyone from that property, even the government. Why do you think they wrote the Second Amendment right after the First? Because they knew the importance of self-defense. Because self-preservation is what keeps a nation going. It's what keeps a people alive. If people didn't believe in self-defense, we would not be here. Our nation would not exist. So guys, yeah, keep it secular. You know, I know a lot of people who don't believe in God. They don't believe that our rights are God-given. But hey, if you believe that we are the result of biological progression, or that your rights are a gift by virtue of nature, it doesn't matter. Your rights don't come from government. Government has no authority to dictate our rights. Because our property rights, it's look at the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment. Your right to free speech comes from your body. Your Second Amendment is your firearm. It protects your body and your property. And you can acquire property. You can go out with your rifle, dispatch a deer, feed your body, your property, acquiring property from the forest to feed your family, put food on the table. All rights derive from property. The quartering of troops, Third Amendment. Troops can't go into your home and just make themselves at home and have their way with your wife, or drink your liquor, you know, take your tea, your coffee. They're limited. The Fourth Amendment, the right to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects. What is your person? Property. Houses, property. Papers, property. Effects, more property. Your effects is your camera, your phone, all those things. So, I mean, go down to the courthouse. You'll see people who are there for damaging property in a criminal manner. Whether you know, if it's malice, if it's accidental, if it's your fault, you're going to pay. You're going to make that person whole again. If they stole property, they're going to have to make that person whole again. Go down to the family courts. The family courts, you have 2 people, 2 bodies getting a divorce, 2 properties getting a divorce. What are they separating? Property. The house, the boat, the kids, the cars, the bank accounts, all that. All rights derive from property, guys. So this is what I try to do. I try to simplify the way I look at the Constitution, and I try to share it with you the best way I can. So I mean, there it is, guys. I'm gonna cut it short here. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. I will keep more videos coming. I have some videos that I've already have stored that I'm gonna go ahead and pump out. Their audits. I'm gonna take it easy for a bit. I'm still gonna do some activist work. Just gonna try not to fall in the net of my enemies, because I know they await me, and I know they're seeking to destroy me. My lawyer even told me they're watching my every move. So, guys, love you guys. Remember why we do this: God, country, and family. And don't give up. God save the Republic. Thank you.